You're now tuned in to Competitive Edge. All right, guys, welcome back to another podcast. We're going to jump right into it. We have an awesome guest today. I think she has a lot to share in the gymnastics and supporting community in any sport. So, welcome, Lisa.
Thank you.
Lisa Cook. You have quite the little all-star that,
so far.
That's in the gym just as much as me, really, during the week.
Yes, almost 16 hours. That's pretty good.
It's a lot.
Started low, and then they kept increasing every year, and here we are.
So, for anybody who doesn't know what's going on right now, how are you involved in competitive sports right now?
Me?
Yes.
Just as a mom of Rylan. And dad with 2 kids.
We should probably put this up to our
faces.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Here we go. Would you call yourself like a support system or parent? What would you call it?
All the above. Different hats at different times.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to see your kind of view on it.
I don't know. I think definitely support system because obviously he needs somebody to be in it just as much as he is.
Okay.
I think. He's pretty good at rocking it on his own already, but I keep him grounded, a little bit focused.
Yeah, I like the words grounded. I got to dive into that later. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I have a few questions here that I kind of share with you that I think would be beneficial for other people to hear.
Sure.
And hopefully you've reviewed them a little bit because some of them are a bit tough.
Yeah.
So what's it like being a parent of a young competitive athlete?
Fun.
Yeah.
Yes. It brings me back to when I did athletics and competition and sport. So I guess I'm kind of reliving it a little bit without living through him, living with him. Yeah.
Right. Definitely fun because there's a lot of like ups and downs in this journey, I'd imagine.
Well, I think boys are slightly different in the ups and downs, but he does have some downs, more ups.
Which is always good.
Yeah.
So what's like the schedule like for anybody who doesn't realize what it's like having a young competitive, say, athlete?
Busy. Different than a sport that requires me to stay, though.
Right.
So I guess
you were talking about that yesterday, how it's like so beneficial that you...
Kind of nice for me. We just do normal things for the day. We go to school. Then I pick him up from school, and we eat in the car.
Okay.
There's no other time
or above
to eat.
Dominion.
Or above Dominion. And then we'll sit at Dominion for 20 minutes and do homework or have food or dissect the day.
So it sounds like I got a chance to sit with you guys yesterday, too, and kind of take in how you did your routine there. And it sounds like you guys use your time very wisely because he spends a lot of hours in the gym, right?
Yeah, we have to. So he's here 3 days a week and 1 weekend. So without that, we really can't do homework.
Right.
It's pretty tricky.
So you get that like little 30-minute block in, make it count when you can.
We have to, otherwise there's no time. And he already does tutoring 1 hour a week because I just feel like it's more beneficial to tutor than to let me do it. So he gets little 20-minute sections and then some nighttime and then some tutoring.
Yeah, so I guess it's always a balance to anybody that has like a young athlete in any sport, really, especially competitive sport. Like there's a lot of hours of training that they have to get per week, plus school, plus their own personal life.
Yeah.
Like, is it tough to balance that?
Totally. Yeah. I've told him a million times there's always something that doesn't have to give but kind of does give. And for him, it's terrible to say that it's homework, but it's homework.
Which is what gives.
So we have
I don't know if every mom would agree with that, but I would agree.
It does. It's hard. I try so hard. I make a schedule. I set the time in my phone, but we still just don't do it because if he's not schooling or at the gym, then I want to let him sit down and relax for a minute.
Yeah, and be a kid at some point, right?
Like, go to a birthday party, go to a friend's house. So we do our best.
Totally, yeah, and it's always a balance, and for every family it'd be different too, depending on their schedule and school, and summer's a little different as well because summer's more free.
And training's pretty awesome in the summer because it's like daytime typically, which is nicer than nighttime, but nighttime is understandable during the school year.
Exactly, but most of the training routine is during school year, if you think about it, so it's always a balance, Is there any like tricks or tips or anything that you can kind of share about how you do scheduling or how to keep kids on point or focused? Or
he doesn't do anything else, so that really helps. I actually don't know how parents do multi-sport children, and we would if he wanted to, but he's just so into gymnastics that he would come every day. We've tried other sports, but he just wants to stay here, which is amazing.
Which is great,
there's really no routine. It's keeping him healthy is the hardest part. Really, well fed, well slept. I'm pretty hard on the bedtime to make sure he has enough sleep.
For sure, especially as a competitive athlete, right?
Exactly.
And that age, still growing, still
And he always
young.
comes home every couple days like, my this hurts when I do that, and my ankle hurts, and my shoulder hurts. So I'm like, but does it hurt, or is it just sore because you've worked your muscles? And usually it's just that.
which is a way healthier reason. Yeah, we chatted a lot about keeping him healthy because he definitely has a lot of potential. We're talking about Rylan here. If anybody doesn't know, hopefully we'll get him on the podcast as well at some point. That'd be fun. And then you both, maybe we'll see. But it's I think it's the biggest challenge, especially in gymnastics, is keeping them healthy.
Definitely,
because there's so much that they can do and so much that they can press. And if they, injury.
It was last summer. I think he got like a really bad ankle injury, and in my head I was like, how long is this going to set him out? Because it was maybe July. But with the season starting in September, it's a little scary.
That is scary, especially at that age. He wants to go.
Exactly.
So mentally, that's tough on him.
It was tough. And to get him to sit still to heal was just impossible because he's so used to being here.
He wants to just keep going.
All the time.
Love that. So let's switch gears here now. I wanna jump into a memory. I haven't really known you for that long, so you can dig back in the memory bank if you wish. But what's like a very memorable time or experience that you had, whether watching Rylan or going through one of his competitions or where his training, or maybe it's a skill, or is there anything?
Maybe going to Florida for the competition.
Okay.
Because it was like an outside of Canada competition.
Cool, fun.
That was neat.
So what was the name of the competition?
It was Whitlow, I forget now.
Whitlow, okay.
Yeah.
So what time of year was this competition?
January of 2024.
Okay, what a great time to go to Florida.
It was not warm. It was cold. We were all pretending at the pool. We were like, it's totally fine. If I had a sweater, I'd probably put it on, but it's actually totally fine. It's okay. It was better than here because it was like minus 30. So it was still all relative,
kind of my
I guess.
Point. It was a little bit better than here,
that's
too.
right. But I think he competed against 17 people, and he was all over the board.
Right.
Which I kind of like. I kind of think it's fun to be all over the board.
Yeah.
It shows you your strengths and your weaknesses and what you have to sort of focus on when you get back to the gym. But he came first on floor. So it was pretty exciting.
By all over the board, you mean during his 6 events, he was kind of
he got like 13th or 4th or 1st or 6th. So it was really kind of nice to see him.
And it was probably cool to compare him to a different nation as well, a different bunch of athletes.
Well, to see he was kind of on the same page. And I think they had
Was that level 1 or 2?
Well, he had to do they're different.
Right.
So he had to learn a different routine.
That's probably why he ranked all over the board
too.
Yeah,
maybe. Right? It was a quick turnaround. So that was kind of different. I don't know what level he would have been there, but it wasn't standard to here.
Okay, yeah. I know the States do a different program as well. Yeah. So I don't really know it because we just focus on our own lane, but
easier. Or like not as skill based.
Right.
But that's not fair because I don't know.
And they probably put him in a lower level just because it was his first time as well. I think they do like 1 to 10 levels, and we do 1 to 5 really, and then we do.
So I feel like I want to say he was in 3, but I don't know if that was right or not.
So I think the program they do is 1 to 10.
That would make sense then, maybe.
Yeah, probably. So that's a memorable moment. So was there anything like inside, outside of the gym that also made that memorable, or like how was that experience? Gonna paint it.
It was just neat. We just traveled. We got to go to the wide world of sports, which is a crazy complex, like wild and huge, and then there was like. The arena, I guess, was 2 sides, and the girls were competing on this side and the boys on this side, and there was 2 floors and 2 everything all lined up. It was just nice to be away.
It's a big event, too. Yeah, how did he find it? Did you notice it? Yeah, he was all in. Was he nervous at all?
No.
Wicked.
No different than normal. Yeah.
Do you have any photos or videos of that comp?
Yes.
I would love to see those.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, maybe I can toss them in this episode if you still have them.
Oh my gosh, it's all on YouTube.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
So you mentioned some challenges about, balancing your time and balancing all life, because life is super busy for most people these days. Is there any more like kind of challenges you notice as a support system for Rylan, like getting him in here and getting him?
He is no trouble to get here.
Right.
He has never once said I don't want to come, so that's easy.
Right.
I don't think there's anything in relation to like gymnastics. I guess it would be as a working parent.
Yeah.
It's hard to
your
work.
Schedule as well.
Yeah. It's not hard to work. It's just really time. You're all in blocks of time.
Totally.
So it's making the best of the little time that you have.
And making the most of it for sure.
Yeah. Like I think truly my time to work is once they're going to school, it's like from 9 to 1:30. I know I have that chunk of time. But I use the time he's in the gym a lot to work. So if I know he's here from 3:30 to 7:30, then I'll show a house at 4:30.
There you go.
So it's just scheduling.
It's just
like everything.
Yeah, making it work. Yeah. So that's probably the biggest challenge as being a parent to any competitive athlete. Really,
oh my gosh,
think about it is making the time work. Right?
And I'm self-employed, so I have the freedom. I can work at night. I can work at 2 a.m. But a 9 to 5 or a rotational worker would be so much harder. So I have the easier side of it, maybe, but it's still just if outsiders look at my schedule and they don't think it makes sense, but it just feels very easy when you're in it.
Yeah, because you've created it around what works. Totally. Exactly. Yeah, and I guess it's different for everyone too, right? Like
totally.
Yeah. With that said, when it comes to nutrition, Is that a challenge, or how does that whole...
Thankfully, he's a really good eater. He also likes to listen to my suggestions, which I guess could be good and bad.
Okay.
But he's good. He'll eat, all the protein he needs to eat, lots of green things, smoothies, drinks a lot of water. He's pretty good. I also let him listen to his body. Before I came here, he's like, "Can I have this chocolate?" I was like, "It's competition day, and I don't think you should." He's like, "Just one." I was like, "Okay." But usually I'll just let him do what he wants, and I'm like, just in an hour, like, listen to how your body feels. So he is good at reading his body now.
I love how you ask him to listen to his body, like after he eats stuff. Like, everyone's kind of different too. Like, some people have different reactions to different foods, and it could be different genetically too, just because he's your son. So I kind of love that aspect of letting him feel it out and understand himself.
An hour later, he's like, "What? Like, I feel like whatever," and I'm like, "Well, think about what you ate. It's fine. You're allowed to have treats, and you're allowed to have the chocolate, but maybe not that much, maybe not at that time." Or maybe after you've eaten this instead.
Totally, or after competition or as a celebration.
Exactly. I'm not keeping it away.
He's really in tune, because if you guys don't know, Ryland's 10. We just turned 10.
March 25th?
Yeah, a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Congrats, Ryland. Happy birthday, buddy.
Double digits.
Well, he woke up and did a handstand.
Yeah, every day, all day. That's not just that day.
Every day, all day. Gymnastics. We got to get that on a shirt, I swear.
We will.
It should be. The photos are cute, but... probably not eating it on competition day chocolate.
No.
I like how you get him in tune with, feeling his body, especially at a young age.
Yeah.
I feel like even some parents don't even know to do that as well. So what a great thing to...
Because I don't think he'd put the two and two together. And I can't feel his body. I can only tell you not to do that, but he needs to know the why.
Yeah. Is there any more like wellness kind of tips or tricks you learned along the way that you kind of share with him? I know it's hard in the mom moments and in the parenting moments, they kind of just happen naturally, but it's hard to like distill them down. But that right there is a beautiful lesson for everyone. If you eat something, you feel terrible an hour later, like, think about it. Why is that, Yeah, so is there anything else like that?
Well, we started doing massage.
Okay.
And he really likes that for his legs. Specifically?
Is this like a weekly thing? Is this like an after training
thing?
Like
a 3 times a year, 4 times a year.
Okay.
That's only because he's so young, but it started because I think his legs were tight. Yeah. So anyway, that's one thing, and that's not for everybody, but just food. I'm pretty hard on the food and the sleep.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Really.
I'd love to dive into the sleep. I think it's way overlooked in sports and just life in general.
And he's a naturally early riser, so he has to go to sleep earlier. It doesn't matter if he goes to bed at midnight or 8:30, he still wakes up at the same time.
Right. That's his biological clock.
And then I can see him when I pick him up from school.
He's
I'm
tired.
Like, maybe we should actually not train tonight because you're probably going to get hurt.
Because he's not I
can tell he's tired.
Conscious. Yeah. Especially as a kid, like they go through a lot in a day.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot.
So give us a little rundown of his bedtime routine. I think this is important for adults and young kids. Like, I've seen some kids in my experience that don't have a bedtime routine, and they're just sporadic all over the board, and their energy levels are crazy, and it's hard for parents to control their kid that way. So do you guys have a very strict bedtime, or?
We try to go at the same time. But there's sometimes he has a major second wind, and sometimes he's good at getting it together.
Sounds like a kid to me.
Oh my gosh, it's a lot sometimes. Sometimes I just sit there and I'm just like, wait it out. But no,
he's burn it off.
Not terrible. It's pretty momentary, but he will like do a front roll to get his pajamas on the bed. And then when he has his pants on, he'll do a handstand on the bed and like put his feet on the ceiling. And then it's entertaining, but also a little frustrating.
Riley, it's bedtime. Why are you upside down?
Basically, I'm like, you do this all day. You just got home from 4 hours in the gym. I don't think this is the right now necessity.
But Mom, all day, every day.
Oh, I don't know. It is.
It's still day, Mom.
But then once he gets in bed, I have to rub his head, and then he's asleep. He's pretty good. But it's that, like, because he can relax on the couch or wherever, whatever we're doing before bedtime, and it's that little win before it's actually time to.
And it's just sometimes, is it? Yeah. Yeah. Maybe he didn't train hard enough that day.
I don't know about that. Anyways, it's not really a routine as such. It's just keeping it on time. That's all.
For sure. I'm a firm believer in that, even for adults,
Yes.
You probably even feel it too when you don't get your regular sleep. Yeah, there's been times in my life I was like, what's going on? Like, I don't have the creativity or the energy or like the extra passion to put into something. You think it's like, am I not enjoying this anymore? But it's if you ask yourself and listen to your body. It's like, oh yeah, I'm not getting the quality sweet. Yeah,
totally.
So that's a big topic we can really dive in on maybe another time. But when it comes to Ryland's training, I think you brought up a good point of how like he does nothing else.
Nothing. No. I mean, besides normal kid things.
Exactly, he's a kid as well. But I mean, like he's not cross training, which could be beneficial,
definitely,
to an extent.
And I tried, but he just is all in. Like we tried diving in the pool, and he loved it.
Right.
But it's like not his passion. He was so lucky to find what he loved so young.
That is a blessing.
Because really not very many people are that lucky.
That. Yeah. And he's like all in as like he's 10. He has so much opportunity, video games and all these other sports and kids, and I think that's the reason why I bring it up. I think that's a huge part of why he is so successful in the sport. Like if you see his results when he's on the podium at the end of the competition, it shows, right? Like, and there's other kids that do have...
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with cross-training. I'm just saying, for anybody who wants to be...
Or video games. I love video games. But he does, like, play them. And sometimes it's time to go and... Like, on Thursdays, we come at 4 o'clock. So he has about 30 minutes to use it then. And so it's hard sometimes to be like, we have to go or you're going to be late. So then he'll say, like, oh, just another minute.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's fine, but I'm not the one training. And you're the one who's going to be late. And that doesn't look bad on me. That looks bad on you. And if you're as committed to this as you are, then you need to show that you're going to be there at the right time. So then he'll usually think, okay, that's true.
I love the way that you give him the option. I think this is a beautiful point. When I say you have a lot to share with parents, I believe this section right here is a beautiful part of that. You're not screaming at them, you're not yelling at them, you're not telling them what to do.
He needs to know what I'm thinking. I can just say we have to go, but why?
Why?
Yeah.
This is beautiful, by the way. I think a lot of parents overlook that and kind of just keep telling their kids what to do instead of letting them take responsibility. Yeah. And it really shows in the way that he acts and the way that he behaves in the gym as well. He takes responsibility of what he does. So I think that's a beautiful lesson for everyone kind of. Yeah. And like you said, he needs to understand why you're saying that.
Right.
And if he shows up late, he said, it's not on me. Like, I'm ready to go, right? Yeah. It's on you. It's you giving him full responsibility.
And you signed a contract that said you'd give it your all while you're here.
Exactly.
Yeah, so.
I want to go into that, actually. Like, it's not really a contract per se, but mentally, that's a great perspective to have.
We sat down and read them all, and, you have to commit so much of your time and be respectful and all those things.
So this was before he signed up?
Yeah.
You made this yourself?
No, it came from here.
Came from here. Okay, beautiful. Want to just give us a run? I haven't seen this. I think that's great.
Oh my God, I barely remember it.
This in my own coaching protocol now.
Absolutely.
First I've heard of this.
It's a couple pages, and it's really like
it's called what?
It's just, I don't know. It's a couple pages long.
Yeah.
I definitely still have it, and you would have it here.
Yeah.
But it just tells the athlete how they're going to act when they're in the gym.
Right. So this is if he was signing up to the competitive program, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of other sports can benefit from this.
And he had to initial every blurb.
Wow.
Yeah, and then sign it at the bottom, which was adorable because he was 7 when he signed it. It's like, do you even know how to sign your name? I don't know.
With a crayon.
Yeah, exactly. I'd like to look back at it, actually.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't know what you call that. It's kind of like a contract.
I think it is like an athlete's contract. I mean, obviously it's very loose, but
I appreciate you sharing that. Yeah. That's beautiful. Yeah. I never even thought about doing that myself. That's a great idea because then it gets everyone in the mindset. Here is what required. It's not for everyone. No. It really isn't. But if you're going to do it, here's what's required.
Exactly.
And if they understand...
Which is a good reminder.
Totally. How'd he take it?
Oh my God, he loved it.
Yeah.
But he was like, yeah, okay.
So when he's playing those extra video games for those extra few minutes, you're kind of like, do you remember that contract?
Right. I need to keep it printed somewhere. Read line 3.
Section 2.
Just remind yourself of what you committed to.
Before we get into the rapid fire questions and finish this up, we'll try and keep these short. Is there any lessons you've learned just from his coaches or from just being in the environment of gymnastics yourself?
For him?
Or yourself, yeah.
From other parents? To support him and not to push him?
Support him and not to push him.
I'm on his team 100%.
Right.
But if he changes his mind tomorrow, then that would be okay.
Right, and you've mentioned that many times when we were chatting.
Because if he doesn't want to do it, then
passion's not there,
that. And I don't know of anybody specifically, but I'm sure there are parents who think that it's best to be like, you got to do this, you have to win, you have to try to be first, but that doesn't work.
It really doesn't, yeah.
It doesn't work, at least.
Yeah, it's a lot of extra pressure that's not needed,
Yeah, so he needs to know it's just for fun, and it's about him doing better we keep his little scorecards and compare his final score or his floor score, just so he knows.
Yeah.
Because it's an individual sport as much as it is a team sport.
Totally. And you're not forcing him to do it again. You're letting him take responsibility. And that's a key point of this whole podcast.
It's easy to say, like, oh, there's 3 people. You need to work hard to beat them. But I don't know. That's too much of a negative.
Especially at a young age for competitive athletes. A lot of them think, like, today is it at competition. If I make a mistake, my life is over. This is it. But I think it's very healthy for the parents as well as the coaches to give them a longer-term perspective of, you know, you're going to peak at so-and-so age in specific sport. Our sport is between 16 to 20 for guys, and it's normally the later side of that. So for anybody to be all caught up and, like, I'm not on the first place podium or whatever at this age, it's kind of sad because there's no need. Like, there's so much time to improve and get better, especially in this sport. I can only speak from this sport, but so that long-term perspective of...
And there's a lot of competitions, too. So it's not just like a one-shot deal.
Yeah. A lot of people think this is the day and this is it.
Right. Yeah. And it's great to come first or second or third or whatever it is that you want to do in the competition, but it's kind of nice to not always come first.
Yeah, and it's kind of like
fuel your fire.
Exactly. Yeah. Fuel the fire. Yeah. And it's kind of unhealthy if you always win because you're not really being challenged.
You're not at all.
Yeah.
No. So. I always tell him that I want him to be all over the board. I was like, bring home every color.
Yeah.
It's nice to have all the options.
It's true. Bring home every color.
Yeah, exactly. You don't just need one color. Let's change it
up. Before we close it off, is there any... I want to jump into when he got started. I was going to start with this, but I want to get to the juicy stuff first. What made you want to get him into gymnastics? Because he didn't really make that decision, I wouldn't imagine, when he was young. Exactly.
Not even a little bit.
It's probably healthy to let your kids, like, try all kinds of things. And gymnastics is one of those beautiful sports where it's good for life, it's good for everything. Yes. So how did it start? How did this journey start?
In that 0 to 3 program? I don't know what it's called.
Okay.
Like, I don't even know what it's called.
Tawny Tumblers or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. But the parent gets to come in, too.
Oh, parent and taught.
Yeah. Like really 0 to 3.
Yeah.
Like,
wow.
Young.
Parent and taught.
And he started walking at 9 months old, so I was like, oh my gosh, you need an outlet.
Oh, wow.
So you need to run somewhere else that isn't the house. So I think we're just so close to here that it became here.
Right.
And then at 4, whatever that program's called, I should have looked it all up.
It's all good. It's all good.
He had to go in without the parent.
Right.
So then he didn't like it.
That's a big step,
It's a really big step. I don't know how you transition.
Yeah, almost like half and half.
Maybe.
You know, maybe you start there and
true.
then they end without you.
Yeah.
That would be a good
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
But he just couldn't. He just wouldn't. And so I didn't push him because I was like, obviously don't want to be here, so let's leave. So we quit, I guess.
Wow, bad
start. Quit at 4.
Bad start. Dang. Career over.
And then he went to his Cygnus summer camp, I guess the summer of kindergarten.
Cool. And those are fun.
They're great. They're their favorite, my children's favorite camp.
Gymnastics camps in general, summer camps.
Good point.
Yeah.
And one of the coaches was like, he can do a splits. He can do a cartwheel. He can do this.
Naturally.
I was like, I know. And
she's like,
at home. Yeah, I know. I'm well aware. Yeah. She's like, he should try out for competitive. I was like, cool. So we did, and then here we are.
Yeah.
He started at 3 hours a week. And then 6, and then 9, and then 12, and now 16.
And here we are. Not even midway through the journey, really.
I know. Yeah. And every summer, they would put him up. And I would email, and I was like, oh, no, he was only like 9 last year. He's like, I think we put him in 12 by accident. They're like, no, he's ready. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Then the next year, I was like, oh, I think we put him in 16 by accident. He's in 12. And they're like, no, he's ready. I think that's why I asked you if you'd do more this year, because it happened every other year. Yeah. There's
someone coming in now, so we'll do the rapid fire. How's it going? No worries, man. We'll do the rapid fire questions, and you can say skip if you want. You haven't seen these.
I haven't.
These are random. Okay.
Pressure.
So, what's Ryland's favorite training outfit?
Outfit?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
What does he like to wear when he trains?
Oh, like an athletic shirt and a shorts.
All right, and the goal is keep these fast. So shorts. It's fast. Yeah.
For sure.
What's his favorite training snack?
Seaweed.
Seaweed? Okay. Yeah. Favorite pump-up song?
Oh, I have no idea.
He doesn't got one?
No, I don't think
What's your favorite pump-up song?
I have
no idea. Do you know what his favorite piece of conditioning equipment is or what he loves using? Favorite piece of equipment?
Weights? He does that at home,
He likes weights? Oh, he's a dude.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what his favorite conditioning exercise is?
No?
No? I think it's handstand because he does that everywhere.
Oh, good point. Yeah, let's go with that.
Do you know what his favorite skill is to train? Yeah.
Anything with a double in it.
Any double flip? Yeah, true.
He came home the other day. He's like, I did a double back off the double track. I was like, good for you.
Yeah, that's spot on. Yeah. He's such the flipper.
Yeah.
Do you know what he loves most about the sport?
I think it's all the boys.
All the boys, the community.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What do you love most about the sport, gymnastics?
I think all that. There's so many good role models here. Like he's just in his glee. No, it's good. It's good for everything.
True. When he's not training here, what will you catch him doing?
Sitting down.
Sitting down.
Finally.
Yes.
Or on Roblox with his friends.
Roblox? Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Roblox is pretty popular these days.
It is.
If he wasn't in gymnastics, what would he be doing?
Oh, good question. Diving, maybe?
Diving?
Yeah.
Because you were a swimmer.
Yeah, so he likes water.
Yeah, fair enough. And it's in the genes.
Yeah.
If he could have any superpower, what would it be?
Backflipping?
Backflipping? Just flying,
I don't know.
Man, flipping man?
Exactly.
What would your superpower be?
Being in the air. Oh, I have no idea anymore.
What would yours be? Any superpower?
I don't know. Skip. I don't like this.
Okay, awesome. Does Rylan have a favorite book or TV show?
No, Dragon Masters for a while, but I don't know what it is now.
Favorite games, Roblox, obviously. Yeah. Does he have a favorite beverage or meal?
He loves salad, Caesar salad, and water. But if we are all having a fancy drink, he will have a Sprite.
Okay, cute.
Yeah.
Random fact about him that nobody might not know.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. He's trying to learn sign language with me.
Okay.
That's random. I don't know. First thing I thought of.
Do you think he'd like to come on this podcast?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay, so we'll definitely get him on. So awesome. That's all we got for you today.
Cool.
Appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
I think there's some great value in that for a lot of parents in sports systems. And I know you were hesitant coming on. I think you were just putting up a show, but I'm super glad you came on. Every guest that comes on, we give them a free piece of merch from the website.
Nice.
So you can pick one piece and we'll copy for it. So appreciate it. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Ciao.
Here, buddy. Bye.